I was 4 years old, my family moved to Pleasant Grove, Utah. Pleasant Grove is a big town located in Utah County, about 20 minutes from Provo and 45 minutes from Salt Lake City. It has a population of nearly 39,000 people, and it is still growing. I attended 2 different public elementary schools. The first, Valley View Elementary, and after my family moved to another part of PG, the second was Manila Elementary School. In the 6th grade, I transferred to a local charter school called Lincoln Academy. This was a K-9 charter school, and I attended all throughout junior high with opportunities like advanced placement classes and smaller class sizes. For high school, I went back into the public school system and attended Pleasant Grove High School. PG High is a 6A school known for wrestling, volleyball, and performing arts. I had the opportunity to perform with multiple choirs and act in many theater productions. I took multiple AP courses for college credit and graduated with honors. Pleasant Grove is a largely suburban area made up of mostly white, middle-class citizens, and many of them are of the LDS religion. My family fits into this category perfectly. Being in this category allowed me privileges that I was not aware of at that time. Being able to afford additional trips and tours with the theater company and choirs, participation in the LDS program of seminary during school hours, the general lack of diversity in our classrooms, and the comfort that came from being in the majority. Upon graduating from Pleasant Grove High School, I became a student at SUU. After 2 years as a student at Southern Utah University, I began to struggle with severe physical health issues that put me in a wheelchair. I experienced the entirety of my junior year in that wheelchair, and it totally changed my perspective and my schooling. I became the minority on campus, and it affected me on almost every level of my schooling. While SUU's campus is beautiful, it is not especially accessible. The gutters, sidewalks, and ramps were difficult to maneuver. Opening doors and using elevators were a constant struggle, and many classrooms are not wheelchair accessible. While this was a difficult time in my life, it caused an important shift in my perception of cultural and social capitalism. My ability to walk positively affected and provided me with this capital. Once I no longer had that ability, my capital changed. I suddenly had limits to what I perceived I could do, as well as what others perceived I could do, and this affected my social and cultural capital. Many people, including my friends and professors, began to treat me differently because of my disability. I could feel the difference in my social capital and felt the decline of my cultural capital in my schooling environment. I think I have an interesting perspective on my own ideology and capital, as well as the school's ideology and capital, because I experienced that change. It hasn't stayed consistent for me as it usually does for others. I have a greater appreciation for people that are not the majority, whether it be race, class, sexual orientation, language background, or ability that makes them diverse. I can now better empathize with their struggles with social and cultural capital, especially in an education setting. All of these experiences in my own education have helped me learn to become a better teacher. I want to take the knowledge I have gained from different events in my life and the many classes that I have taken in preparation for my degree and apply it to my future classroom. I want my future classroom to promote equitable learning. I think it is so important to realize that not every student is the same, and that means they shouldn't all be treated the same. Their diversity should be celebrated and supported, and I can only offer that support if I understand each student's individual needs. As a choir teacher, I will have the ability to really teach and discuss with my students how to create a positive, equitable classroom experience. Celebrating diversity can be a daily occurrence, and we do it through music and song. I can facilitate a safe space for all of my students where we can talk about those hard subjects dealing with oppression, because the arts allow these students the freedom of expression. Knowing my students, their culture, their friends, their family, and their life experiences will allow me to not only celebrate their diversity, but also understand their realities, which I can then tailor my lessons to. I want to promote a classroom where each student is understood and where any type of oppression, be it cultural oppression, racism, sexism, classism, heterosexism, or ableism, does not happen. And I will start by educating them on what that means and what we can do as a class to prevent it. With my own disability, I have the opportunity for my students to experience diversity firsthand. Whether it's helping me in the classroom, making necessary adjustments throughout lessons, or just simply being with someone that is different from you, my students can learn acceptance, kindness, and equity.